So it's called Record Player Life, the B-sides. So what's the concept behind it, or what was kind of the origin story of that collection?
So this is a strange collection because I actually had really strong themes for some of the other things I was working on, and I started to put them together. And one is going to be a woman, which is coming out with Red Rose Thorns in May. And that was my kind of like magnum opus collection that I was like, this is what I want to say, and this is what I want to be about, this feminist journey. And so I had that going. I have one that's about my family, which I don't think they're going to like very much. And that's still in edits. And I'll have to decide if I ever want to put that out because that could have consequences. And then I started writing Retired Wannabe Club Kid. My family here makes fun of me, my stepdaughter and my husband, because I would be cooking breakfast, wearing headphones, listening to EDM, and typing this. And they said, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "I'm writing like EDM poetry." And they're like, "Why, you're making breakfast?" I was like, "Yes." And then so I kind of started categorizing things, and I had like a body of work that was some shorts, really they're nonfiction, and then even some fiction pieces and some poetry. And the theme just didn't really reveal itself. And I thought, well, maybe this is my B-side book. It's not like super commercial, popular on a theme. It's like my little pieces of disarray, which was the original title, In Complete Disarray. But there is, when you look at something, there's always a theme comes through. And I think the theme is living in a community and interactions with other people. And I would say that that is kind of the theme of the book.
Yeah, so can you say more about the that aspect of the theme, and like were there certain poems that like where that kind of clicked for you, and it kind of spiraled from there, or something in the writing process that you really grabbed onto?
Well, it has a titular poem in there, Record Player Life. And I wrote that the day that I got a record player, which I'd never owned one before, and I have one now. And then I got these old records from my father-in-law. And so I started getting interested in it a little bit. And that's when I kind of read about the concept of the B-side. So it was kind of all taking place at the same time, which is really what this collection is about. It's just kind of about daily life and how we feel and how we interact with space and time around us and our feelings about things. And it's kind of a pause, which is something I try to bring to a lot of my work, just to tell people to like, hey, slow down and notice what's around you because it's all really beautiful and we should spend more time archiving it. And that's what I'm trying to do, I think, with this collection.
Yeah, I'll come back to that in a second. But yeah, what were the inheriting, whether it's books or albums or whatever media it takes, however it takes shape, is interesting. So like, what was the music that you mentioned like inheriting
Oh, there's some really
or
weird
getting?
stuff in there and things I've never heard of and a lot of things I don't care for. So I'm starting to add I'm starting to add my own records and I've been listening to basically the same five bands since I was 11 years old. So we got your Cranberries, some Bjork, Radiohead, and that's about it.
Yeah, I, I get stuck in that loop too, in terms of like, I don't know if there's anybody who's been new in the past 10 years that I am like got really into or familiar with. Um, but yeah, I definitely am familiar with that era. So yeah, I think like if I can like listen to Pavement forever, like I'll probably just like sign up for that. Like, why do we need new stuff? Um, yeah, but then it is fun to kind of see the weird stuff that is out there. Like I was
Mhm.
at a used vinyl sale or whatever not that long ago, and there's just so much unusual stuff, and like even the album art, like 60s, 70s, there's just so much of like that tangible and tactile world that we are kind of losing a little bit of,
Yeah.
which is just so weird. It's just such a weird.
Yeah, and Aaron, I think there's a lot to be said for listening to something the way the artist put it together, which we don't do anymore, right? We live a world on shuffle. And so it's really interesting to hear it the way it was intended, I think.